Oh, hi.
Hi.
My name is Janvierre. I'm a student in the Bachelor's Arts program in College for America at Southern New Hampshire University, and I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in a street interview that I'm working on for contribute to society project. The interview will be used to create a street interview and submit it to College for America so that my project be evaluated. This recording will be used solely for that purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in College for America online for online evaluation system to which only the evaluation and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any questions?
No question.
Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes, I, innocent Mugenzi, give my informed consent to be recorded as a student part of academic work.
Uh,
I, Beatrice Tishimbe, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of student academic work.
okay, thank you so much. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I hope you just tell me what you know. The first question is, what are the three branches of government?
We have executive, legislative, and I only remember those two ones.
Okay, I would add one. It's legislative, executive, and judiciary.
Oh, yeah, thank you. What does each branch do?
Frankly speaking, I don't have any idea.
Okay,
You?
I will try. Executive is executing the laws.
Yes.
Legislative is making the laws, and judiciary, I would think, it's judging the laws.
Good, thank you. The third question says, Democrats and Republicans are the major parties. Can you name the third party?
I only know the main ones.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I would think about the independent parties such as Green One, something like
Okay.
that.
Yes. What is the basic process by which a bill becomes law?
A bill becomes a law, maybe and to pass it through different process of parliament, deputies, maybe in that way.
Okay, I would think in the same way whereby senators make the laws, blah blah blah, and the president comes in, sign it.
Okay. Thank you so much for the help. I was very impressed by your answers. So, starting with the very first question, uh, the three branches of government are executive, legislative, and judiciary. So, these branches have each play a different role. The first, the executive branch, is responsible for enforcing laws. It is in the power of the president, whereby the president acts both as the head of state and also commander in chief of the armed forces. Then the president is voted by the U.S. citizens, and uh, basically he's the one who is in charge of the executive branch of the government. Then the legislative, it is also known as the Congress, and the role of it is to make the law. The law of the legislative is making the law, and then it is divided into two parts. The one is the Senate, and the other one is the House of Representatives. Then the role of House Representatives is to sit around and discuss whether a certain bill should really be passed and become a law. Then some states have representatives, two representatives alone. Others have very many. It depends on the number of representatives that are needed for that very specific state. Then those representatives are voted by eligibility. A person who is eligible for voting in the US is supposed to be 18 years and above. So that is how the representatives are voted for. Then the judiciary is there to interpret the constitution and also limit the powers of other branches of government. It is given power by the Supreme Court to do this is power of judicial review, where it determines laws and policies are constitutional or allowable or that they are not. So that is the role of each and every branches of government. So what does each branch do? Uh, how are the three branches connected? So we have seen that the executive branch is there to make the law. The other one, the judiciary, is also there to enforce the law. And no, the executive is to enforce the law, and then the one of legislative is making the law, and then this judiciary is making sure that the laws that have been put in place are being abided by each and every one in the country. So that is how they work together. When one makes the law, the other one enforces it, and the other one also makes sure that these laws that have been put up are being respected by each and everyone who is supposed to do so. Then we see that they work hand in hand. One cannot operate without the other because it has to take one person. It has to take a person, no, one branch to operate well for the other one to do so as well. Then Democrats and Republicans are the major parties. What is the third party? Mainly in the US, the third party is not one party. Instead, it is a combination of minor parties, which are not, of course, Republicans or Democrats. So the minor parties include Green Party, Reform Party, but libertarians and others, which they are in total 52. So all those make up the third party, means except Republicans and Democrats, the minor parties are the ones that are referred to as the third party. So how did the two-party system start? I'm going to see how it came about to have these two parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. So it is started, though it seems like they separated right now, but in the beginning they were a single party called Democratic Republican Party, which was organized by James Madison and Thomas Jefferson in 1791. It was a party that was established purposely to make sure that they fight against the opposition that was coming from the Federalists in the elections that were coming by then, that is. So the mission of this party was preventing the government, the U.S. state, to look more of a monarchy. I think it was becoming something like a monarchy, and then this party established itself to make sure that they fight against that. And then the number of this party's members increased by 1801 when Thomas Jefferson was put in office and rose to power. Then in 1812, the other party, the other opposite party, the Federalist Party, lost most of its members, and they all went to the Democratic Republican Party, and then it went like that until this Democratic Republican Party had no opposition. It remained in place alone. But then as years went on, as decades passed, it came to a position whereby these people no longer had the same, how can I call it, the same line of work. They developed different interests, they developed different ideas, they were no longer working together. So in the end, they really lost, how can, they lost, I mean, they lost that working together that they had, and they separated. So one part went as the Republicans, and the other one went as the Democrats. That is how the two-party system started. So the impact of the third parties on the national politics is very crucial as well. Although they are called third parties, the minor parties, but they still have a lot of things that they do. Um, yeah, a lot of contribution they put to the national politics. For instance, these people are they bring about some ideas that probably the main parties have forgotten to raise about their states, which improve, of course, the lives of the people. And then they also participate in national elections, which shows the democracy around the country. These people having participated, it means that everyone in the country is contributing, and it is having a fair way of living. So these people contribute by bringing about ideas that have been left, and also participating in the politics to make it a universal, something that everyone finds themselves in. So we are going to look at the way, the basic process by which a bill becomes a law. Uh, well, basically, a bill becomes a law after passing through 13 processes. No, it's a process that is made of 13 steps. So, which I'm going to explain right now. The first one is that the members of the Congress they gather up together and draft a bill that they think is needed according to probably how the situation is, or what the people want, or what is good for the population, things like that. And then the second one is that a bill is introduced to the House of the Representatives, and I mean the House, and this is done by the representatives, and then the third step is that this bill is sent to the committee, to the people who are supposed to see if that law is really a law that is needed. Yeah, if it is supposed to be made the law, if it is needed to the society anyway. And then there is voting in this committee. They vote and see whether that law really is needed, and then when it is passed, it continues to the next steps. But when it fails, of course, it stops from there, which is where many of the bills stop. But then we are going to talk about the case where it has passed. So when it is passed, the laws committee decides to debate about it. They have to debate among all of them. They go to one side. What if we accept this? What is going to happen? What if we don't accept? What is going to happen? So that is what is done. And then if they happen to debate, and then it seems like the law is needed, then this bill is passed to the committee action to decide to to decide whether the bill has been even set well. They can add in some things, some amendments. They can correct probably some things that were mentioned which don't seem like they are making sense or they are needed. Then it is the part that does that is usually called the Senate action. Then the seventh is if having done that and the bill passes, it is introduced to the Senate, where again they use committee action. This is another house, and they use the committee action to see whether this bill is okay, and whether it can be adjusted probably in some ways or be left as it is. And then after doing this, the bill is again returned to the House. It is returned to the House to see whether they agree with all that has been. You see, it has passed through many steps, so they see whether what has been agreed to is what the House really meant by putting up that bill. And then, if it is not agreed upon, there has to be a committee conference between the two houses to agree on what has been okay, on the changes that have been made or what they want to be done. So every member and the houses should agree to what has been said by the conference committees. Then, having done all this, the bill is sent to the president. As we said above, he's the one to make to to conclude that this bill can be a law. He has to approve it, and when he signs on it, it automatically becomes a law. And if he does not, it does not become the law, despite how much it has passed through all those steps. So, lastly, we are going to see the role of sponsors, committees, debate, and voting. Sponsors are these people who who are bringing the bill or amendment to the house. They propose. They say, now can we do this and this? Can this become a law? And then the committee is there to organize, to see through all the activities that are running in that very process of making the bill a law. And then the debate, it is there to enlighten the members of the Congress by debating about the bills and the resolution. It is there to make it, to challenge themselves to see whether that bill is really needed to the society and the the use it is going to have, to see through the history that has been made, to evaluate a lot about that bill. That is the role of the debate. And then voting is it is there to make things fair. If it is a bill and it has to be passed and all the members are respected on the same level, there has to be voting so that everything that is done in a fair way and it is accepted by a larger number of people. So thanks a lot. That was it.